Wells College Turf Complex next to beautiful Cayuga, New York. Here for the swan song, the curtain call, the final 9 for this Wells College baseball program. We're going to get right into the action here. We'll give you the lineups as we get underway. But on the mound for the Express in their final game, number 14, Jonathan Haynes, the Washington and Jefferson transfer, played his high school ball at Arkport over in Section 5. Not too far from here as part of the Wolves program. But Jonathan Haynes on hugs all around. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the last dance of Wells College baseball as they take on the Pitt Bradford Panthers in Game 2 today. So here in Game 2, after the Express took Game 1 9-4, they scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning after being tied at 4 as Haynes deals the first pitch to Nico Hall, the leadoff batter for the Panthers. So the Express in the bottom of the 6th scored 3 runs on wild pitches while Chris McLean was batting, all while the same batter was up. 3 wild pitches consecutively, 3 runs scored. And then after that, they ended up putting up 5 runs in the inning, and that 5 spot was good enough to take the game as Cameron Heyman, the Express closer, came in to get his 7th save of the year in what will go down as a record-breaking season. He'll end with the most saves in Wells College history, up in the record books immortally, along with a couple other players, the Odoms, as well as Aaron Izquierdo, and lots of other Express greats. So it's Haynes here versus Hall to start Game 2 in the final 9 innings here from Wells College, as the Express baseball team will have its curtain call and send its valued players on to newer things as they carry the Wells legacy wherever they will go. But right now, all eyes are on the Wells College turf as Nico Hall draws a leadoff walk to start the second game. And that brings up Andrew Bokulich. So let's get you this Wells College defense as Haynes just a bit outside for ball 1. So the Express in Game 2, couple changes. We'll go from left to right. Big swing and miss from Bokulich on the second pitch from Haynes. Runs the count to 1-1. So this game, in right field, a new entrant, number 18, John Valinati. Zach Odom remains in center field along with Chris McLean in left. Now at first base for the Express is number 11, James Camacho, as Haynes deals. So Camacho at first, Max Odom still at second, Jacoby James still at shortstop, so the middle infield remains. And at third base now is Mark Mabey. Aaron Izquierdo back behind the plate. And Jonathan Haynes getting things started here. Nico Hall takes off, a little delayed steal there. Was waiting to see if Bokulich made contact on that ball. Perhaps a hit and run called by head coach Zach Foster for the Panthers. At any rate, Hall makes it to second. He'll be credited with the stolen base on the swinging miss from Andrew Bokulich. Now 2 strikes in Bokulich, his count, as Haynes deals on that outside corner. He gets the K on Bokulich. So K for Haynes. And that'll bring up the 3 spot for the Panthers, and a player who had quite a game last game. Accounted for all 4 runs that the Panthers scored last game. Number 10, Evan Freyla. Freyla this game, the DH, was behind the dish last game as the catcher. Now in that designated hitter spot, he'll knock one right back at Jacoby James. Nico Hall slinks back towards second And Jacoby James throws over to Camacho at first to retire Frela. Big out for this Express squad. Now bringing up number 2, Blake Pretosh, slotted in at third last game. He'll stay in the hot corner for the Panthers. And he'll step in here with Nico Hall on second and 2 outs in the inning. Haynes looking to get out of here. This is his first pitch a little low. So Haynes, the junior from Arkport, Washington and Jefferson transfer. We'll start with a 2-0 count on Blake Pretosh. Pretosh, the sophomore, 13 RBIs, 30 hits. And in the 4 spot, this game and last, a good frame attempt by Izquierdo, the catcher, to try and fool the umpire, but he saw what he saw. Ball 3. 3-0 count on Pretosh. Haynes sends one right down the middle. So it'll be 3-1 on Pretosh. Haynes looking to crawl back in here and retire Pretosh, as this one goes a little outside the 5th pitch from Haynes. And Pretosh will trot down to first with the walk. 2 walks here in the early going in game 2. A game which will be 9 innings. The first one was 7-inning games, as the sophomore Noah Avey steps in. Avey now will assume the catching duties for the Panthers. And the lefty in the batter's box facing Jonathan Haynes. So Haynes with Hall on second and Pretosh on first. That one a bit low and outside for Haynes. Haynes deals, and Avey hits this one over to Max Odom. A spinning play from Max Odom, or rather, he travels all the way over into the gap and snags that ball. Almost got through, but the speed of Max Odom at second kept it in play, and he gets the out. Haynes gets through 1 without allowing any runs. So Wells will head to the bottom of the first with the Odom duo and Jacoby James due up. The first 4 are the same for the Express. Camacho now the 5 batter, along with the designated hitter Alan Compress as the 6 batter. Mark Mabey will slot in 7th, and Valinati will be 8th, with Chris McLean still holding the responsibilities as the 9 batter, the second leadoff. So Avey retired by Max Odom. And in the top of the first, no hits for Pitt Bradford. Both base runners were due to walks. So the pitcher in game 2 for the Panthers, getting the last start of the season, as Bradford's season will also end after this game. Getting the start is the senior from Syracuse, New York, number 27, Brandon Amidon Crawford. And Amidon Crawford played his ball at West Hill, also attended Onondaga Community College, part of the Lasers program. And he'll step onto the bump and await Zach Odom. And the Odom brothers, whose father was honored before the game for his dedication these past 4 years, giving lots of coverage to this Wells baseball program, giving lots of families and friends an opportunity to see what's going on during the season. Lots of families far away in Florida and California and other places around the country able to keep their eyes on what's going on with the Express due to Chris Odom's work and coverage of Wells baseball. So Chris, we thank you, everyone here at Wells College, for your dedication. As Zach Odom skies one to center field, Hall, still in center field for the Panthers, will be under it. He'll glove it for out number 1. So with Zach Odom retired, Max Odom will now step into the box for the Express. And the Odom brothers playing in their final collegiate game along with some other seniors. As Max Odom skies this one deep into left center, but Nico Hall is under it just a bit too high. So the Odom twins go down, both on flyouts to the center fielder Hall. And that'll bring up Jacoby James, the sophomore from Florida. 425 average entering the day for James. Missed a couple games recently here, but still managed to stay atop the AMCC in batting average. As the first pitch from Amit and Crawford just misses, low and outside. And James lines this one right to the shortstop, who makes the grab. The shortstop this game, Kyle Comito. And Kyle Comito will make that grab. Looks like James got off the end of the bat a little bit. Just fired a little bit of a soft liner right at Comito. And he'll grab that one for the third out of the inning. So no runs for either team in the first inning here. As Chris McLean and the Express will skip back out to the field. And Jonathan Haynes will be back on to get to work. So we'll get you some first game stats here in a second in case you missed all that action. We'll recap what happened, talk about some interesting points. We didn't get to him that inning, but Aaron Izquierdo for the Express. 4 hits in 4 at-bats, 2 RBIs, and a run for the senior. Now catcher was the DH last game. But an impressive performance nonetheless. 4 of Wells' 12 hits, a third of the hits were courtesy of Aaron Izquierdo. AJ Campy also got 2 hits and 2 runs scored. Zach Odom, Max Odom, Jacoby James, Zach Young, Bradley Mills, and Chris McLean all added a single hit in the 9-run performance for the Express. And for the Panthers, it was Evan Frela, 2 for 4, 5 RBIs. All 5 runs accounted for on RBIs by Frela. He had himself quite a showing. The top 3 batters for the Panthers all had 2 hits. All had a multi-hit games. And now it'll be up to the bottom of the order for Pitt Bradford, as only Noah Avey managed to get a knock from the bottom 6 batters. And as we speak, the bottom 6 already off to a good start. Courtesy of Alex Ogden, who shoots one out to right field, lands just in front of John Valinati, and he's aboard with a no-out single, a leadoff single to start the inning. So on the signal from Ogden, the Panthers have now matched the amount of hits they had from their bottom 6 batters last game. It appears they heard me up here, and they're off to a good start in this one with Ogden getting that base knock. That'll bring up Brett Babcock. Dribbles one over to Mark Maybe at third, maybe across the diamond to Camacho at first. Camacho will reach out and snag it. Routine good play in the hot corner from Mark Maybe, the third baseman, number 16, to get the first out of the inning. So now in the box, a new entrant in today's doubleheader, number 19, Aaron Hare, a senior from Frewsburg, New York, over by Buffalo. Played his ball over in Section 6. Lots of local products here in terms of New York. And he shoots one into center field. Zach Odom will glove it. But Ogden is off and running. And he's going to be in. So Hare gets the RBI knock, gets Ogden in. Pitt Bradford up 1-0 in this one. So Hare, the 1-out single to center field to score Ogden. So already this game, the bottom of the order picking up real quick for the Panthers. And this is Kyle Comito. Kyle Comito lines one into left field. So station to station for the Panthers right now. Bottom of the order on an absolute tear to start this one. Figuring out Jonathan Haynes early on here. But Haynes, a lot of gas in the tank, high velocity. Looking to get back on track and get out of this jam with hopefully only one run allowed. His first pitch is inside to the leadoff batter, Hall. So 1 out in the game. As Haynes' second offering, a little high. Hare at second, Comito at first. Komodo, I should say. And Haynes gets the strike call on Hall. So Hall, one of those top 3 batters last game with 2 hits, also scored 3 of those runs. 3 out of the 5 runs. Drew a walk as well. So made it to base 3 out of 4 times. Good percentages for the leadoff batter. And Haynes, the delivery to Hall. Odom ranging left. He'll turn. What a play. Odom ranging to his left, turns back across his body. He'll fire it over to Jacoby James, who slides across second and then throws it over to James Camacho at first. What a great double play from this Express defense. Been on fire the last couple games. Odom over to his left. The flip over to James. James to Camacho to end the inning. Only 1 run put up in the second inning by the Panthers. So now it'll be the Express's turn, and Aaron Izquierdo, the senior catcher, 4 for 4 last game. A huge showing from him. Hoping to stay hot in this one. He'll face off against Brandon Amita Crawford when we return here on the AMCC Boxcast and Wells Express YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us. 8 innings left in Express Baseball. We appreciate you making the effort to join the page today. And we'll catch you in a second. We're back here at Wells College on the shore of Cayuga Lake here in central New York. As Aaron Izquierdo will step in for the Express to lead off the second inning. Down 1-0. Express thrived while trailing last game. Managed to tie it up twice before taking the lead for good in the bottom of the 6th. A 5 spot in that 6th inning. And Izquierdo, the first dealing from Amita Crawford, is down low for a ball. Izquierdo lines the second one right to shortstop. Komodo handles it over to first to retire Aaron Izquierdo for the first time today, including the first game. So Izquierdo will go down and will send up the designated hitter in game 2, James Camacho, the sophomore, walks out to Macho Man. And he'll look to put a hurt on this ball from Amiden Crawford. So first pitch strike from Amiden Crawford. On Camacho. Second offering is a little outside, low and to the left. But he'll get back in, working with a 1-1 count. He's working quick. Camacho grounds this one over to the second baseman, Ogden. And Ogden over to Babcock at first to retire Camacho. So 2 up, 2 down. And actually 5 up, 5 down for Amiden Crawford in the early going here. And that'll bring up another new Express batter to today's lineup, number 15, Alan Compress. Compress shoots this one into left. Left fielder hits the palm of his glove and drops. So Compress, the gift with 2 outs, an E7 from Aaron Hare will allow Compress to reach first and send up Mark Maybe. 3 new batters in a row, and actually 4 in a row as Valinati's on deck for the Express here in the bottom half of their lineup. So Compress on first with speed, and Maybe in the box. First offering from Amiden Crawford is just outside for a ball. Second one's in there. It'll be a 1-1 count to Maybe. And Maybe grounds this one over to short. He'll go straight to first to retire the side. So Maybe grounding to Komodo at first. He'll toss over to Babcock. We're through 2 here. 1 error in the inning, but other than that, spotless start so far for Brandon Amiden Crawford. We'll head to the top of the third. 9-inning game in this second outing. And Jonathan Haynes will be back on to work. So for Amiden Crawford, 4 starts this year, 1 win, 18 innings pitched. He's got 10 Ks and a 7 ERA. Doing great work here in the early going in game 2, though. We'll be back in a second with Andrew Bokulich starting off the third for the Panthers. We'll see you then. So Jonathan Haynes from Arkport back on to work here. He'll throw against Andrew Bokulich. Bokulich 2 hits in the last game. Part of that 3-headed monster. So the count 0-2 on now 1-2 as Haynes misses low. And as we were saying, Bokulich, part of that monster in game 1. The top 3 batters, all in multi-performances. Bokulich almost goes on that one. Tails just outside, and he holds back. Able to stay in there. Against Jonathan Haynes, powerful righty. And Bokulich waits on that off speed. Smears it right up the middle. And he'll be on with a leadoff. Single. Second leadoff batter in a row. Reach for the Panthers. And up comes Evan Frela. 5 RBIs last game for him. Looking to get right back to where he left off. Haynes set. He'll deliver. And up the line is Mark Mabey. He throws over to first. And Frela is out. Mark Mabey went up the line to get that ball. A little dribbler from Frela. Got off the end of the bat. A couple high bounces right into Mabey's glove. He ran up and threw back across his body over to Camacho at first. But Bokulich will head to second. And he'll be in scoring position with 1 out. For Blake Pretash. Still the third baseman in game 2. So the 0-1 on Pretash. And he'll foul that one off. Over a large contingent of Express fans on the home side. Good showing here today. Beautiful weather. Some of the best we've seen all spring season. When lots of rain and cold and sometimes snow, but today it's only sunny skies. As the offering from Haynes is just a bit high. Haynes trying to retire Pretash and then get to work on this bottom of the order for the Panthers that had a great start to this game. And Pretash will go down on the check swing, a strikeout for Haynes. And there'll be 2 outs in the inning now. So after the K from Haynes, number 22, Noah Avey, the sophomore, will step up. Haynes looking to get out of here with no damage. Bokulich still in scoring position. 2 outs in the inning. As the first pitch from Haynes was a bit high. Second offering imminent. And that one's low and inside to the lefty, Noah Avey. Avey spending a lot of games at catcher, I assume, just based on his put-out numbers. 127, most on the Panthers. Catchers get put-outs for strikeouts, so I'm going to assume that he spends most of his time behind the dish for the Panthers. A throwback behind the runner, Bokulich at second from Izquierdo. And a great laser to Jacoby James, but Bokulich is back in time. Plenty of time to spare. And Haynes will once again peer down at Izquierdo and Avey and look to get out of this inning. 2 outs here in the top of the third. Big swing and miss from Avey. The wind shifting a bit from game 1 to game 2. In game 1, it was blowing straight out to right. Now it's kind of a little crosswind blowing toward the right field fence along the right field baseline. As that one's fouled off by Noah Avey. Haynes sets, trying to get out of here. A leg kick, high and outside. That'll be ball 4 to Avey. As he heads down to first. Now runners at first and second. No damage caused yet. And a force applied now. At first, second, and third. As Alex Ogden, another sophomore. Ogden from Smethport, Pennsylvania, will face Jonathan Haynes. As both teams look to cap off their season on a high note with a victory here in the second game. for the Express, that last win saw their win total increase to 19, so they currently have a 19-17 record. They've clinched a winning season, but 20 wins sounds so much sweeter than 19, so they're going to try and get there today in Game 2 against the scrappy Panthers squad. Haynes facing Ogden. Low and outside for the third ball to Ogden. 2 outs, runners at first and second for Haynes as Ogden looks on. Good location from Haynes right down the middle. He got a strike on that call to the 6th batter, Ogden. And Haynes will check on Bokulich at second before making his way back up to the bump to refocus his attention on Alex Ogden. The runners are off as it was a 3-2 count with 2 outs. And Ogden is walked, so 2 straight walks for Haynes. Is Curado out there to talk with him a little bit? So we mentioned it a lot. Still a lot of innings left of baseball to play here in this final game at Wells College. But still, one has to wonder where a lot of these players will end up. It'll be interesting to see where they continue their journeys as Haynes deals to Brett Babcock. Babcock laces that one down the left field line. Foul. It'll be interesting to see where all these players go. A lot of talent on this Express squad, a lot of youth. But surely wherever they go, they'll hold a special place in their hearts for that big red W of Wells College. Hoping to get a W today as Odom flips to Jacoby James, second to shortstop, to get the runner Ogden and get out of the inning unscathed. Haynes loads the bases but gets out of the jam. And we'll head to the bottom of the third. Panthers lead 1-0. Express yet to get a hit. Hoping things will change in the bottom of the third. We'll be back in a minute to give you all the third inning action. Back here at the Wells College turf in the bottom of the third. Express still making their way through the order for the first time in the second outing here. John Valinati, the right fielder, number 18, will step into the box and face number 27, Brandon Ameden Crawford. The Panthers clad in yellow. And a strike from Ameden Crawford. The Panthers in their yellow uniforms. At first glance, kind of looks like the Savannah Bananas. But nonetheless, Pitt Bradford, clad in the colors of University of Pittsburgh. As Ameden Crawford gets the strikeout of Valinati, catcher having trouble finding the ball, Avey, but he does find it and throws down to first to retire Valinati. So a little scare there, but I don't think Valinati noticed it either. So we move on. The K to Ameden Crawford. And it'll be Chris McLean, the left fielder, still holding the 9 spot. And he'll face a Meaden Crawford with 1 out. The bottom of the 3rd. Express took a little while to get going last game too. So look for their offense to eventually get moving here as the cogs start to turn. Chris McLean, a soft liner to shortstop. And Kyle Komodo gloves that one for 2 outs. And we'll flip back to the top with Zach Odom. Bradford leads 1-0, 4 hits. Express without a hit so far. But hoping their order gets comfortable the second time around and finds some gaps in the Bradford defense. As Odom chops this one foul. So Zach Odom last game, 1 for 4, a run. Similar stats to his twin brother, save for the fact that Max had an RBI. And Zach Odom chops this one to third base. The third baseman running in, he'll throw across the diamond. Good play to run in on that ball from Pretash and toss it over to Babcock. So, once again, the Panthers will escape an inning, not allowing a single hit. 3 solid innings from Brandon and Meaden Crawford as he's through another one. We head to the top of the 4th here at Wells as the sun sets on this beautiful Wells College Turf Complex in Cayuga Lake. And a beautiful sunset, we hope, as the sun sets on this iteration of the Wells Express baseball team and the Express baseball program as a whole. Jonathan Haynes back on to work in the top of the 4th. We'll be back with the coverage momentarily. We return to the action here between the Panthers and the Express in Game 2 of this AMCC doubleheader. The final game for both teams. And the curtain call for an Express baseball program been established since 2017. Playing their first season in the AMCC, the Allegheny Mountain Collegiate Conference. And Jonathan Haynes is back on to work facing Aaron Hare, the left fielder. And the big righty in against the powerful righty pitcher for the Express. Haynes with a prolonged leg kick and fires just low and outside. Couple balls now to Hare. Haynes deals. Misses again. Almost hit Hare. Hare thought he might have got nicked by that one. But he'll stay in. 3 balls now on Hare. And Haynes walked a couple batters last inning, but looking to get back on track as Hare fouls it off. And a good start surely would involve sitting down the leadoff batter in this inning, something he has not done in the last 2 innings. Make that 3 as Hare lines one up the middle. Finding better spots, though, is Haynes. Not making it easy for these Panthers batters. So Hare, the leadoff single up the middle, and the bottom half of the order for the Panthers continues to absolutely rake here. Aaron Hare on first now. Kyle Komodo up to bat. Komodo back in after that first pitch from Haynes. It was a ball, I believe. And Komodo lays down a bunt, got the signal from Foster. And Camacho off the bag, so a bunt, single, or rather an error from the pitcher, Jonathan Haynes. Komodo safe at first on the E1. And Hare makes it over to second, so no outs in the inning. 2 base runners for Bradford, threatening to start this 4th frame. And threatening majorly now with Nico Hall, who also squares the bunt. Hall bunts this one in play. Maybe handles it over to Camacho at first. So this time around, the Express managed to get the out on the bunt. However, Hare and Komodo each move up a spot. So it'll be second and third with 1 out for the Panthers as Andrew Bokalich steps in. An off speed from Haynes is in there for a strike on Bokalich. Very similar spot to the spot that Xander Johnson was in the first game. Inning 2, I believe, with runners at second and third and less than 2 outs. As this one's belted into right field by Bokalich. Under it is John Valinati. However, it is high enough and it is deep enough for Aaron Hare to tag home. And Kyle Komodo to head to third. So Bradford will increase their lead to 2 on the sac fly from Andrew Bokalich. Now also with Komodo at third and 2 outs for Evan Freyla. And Freyla looking to tack on another here in the 4th inning. First pitch fouled off by Freyla. Second offering from Haynes is low and outside. Good block from Izquierdo to stop the runner, Komodo, from heading home. Great work behind the plate for Izquierdo, the reliable senior catcher for the Express. And Haynes deals same spot as last time. Another good block from Izquierdo. Komodo off third quite a bit, anticipating maybe a wild pitch. Small lead for Komodo now. His secondary, he'll get a big lead. Outside for Haynes, so 3 balls to Evan Freyla, the 3 batter for the Panthers. Haynes deals low and outside. A walk to Freyla. And Ryan Stevens will head out to the mound as the infielders converge on the bump and surround Jonathan Haynes and Aaron Izquierdo. Ryan Stevens will have a talk with the junior from Arkport. As we take a little break here, 4th inning of Game 2 here in the finale of Express Baseball. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back in a second. So Haynes, just a little quick meeting from Coach Stevens, facing Blake Pretash. And Haynes starts off the count to Pretash with a ball. 1-0. Low and outside. This one gets past Izquierdo. So Komodo will score on the wild pitch. Freyla will head to second with Pretash, a 2-0 count for the Panthers' third baseman. 2 outs in the inning still. As Pretash grounds this one. Jacoby James and Mark Maybe dive. Neither of them can get a hand on it. Tough play. That'll go in as a single. Both players diving to try and stop that ball from leaking through. So on the 2-out single from Pretash, Bradford will extend their lead 4-0. And it'll bring up the lefty, Noah Avey. Another pitch gets by Izquierdo. So Pretash will head to second. Avey in the box, in the lefty batter's box. Pretash on second. Panthers lead 4-0 here. 2 outs in the inning. Haynes deals low. Haynes, the 2-0, sets, delivers. Low and inside. A 3-0 count to Avey. So Haynes struggling to find the spot. As that one goes inside to Avey. He'll head down to first. And make way for Alex Ogden, the second baseman. Haynes trying to get out of this inning. 3 runs for the Panthers so far in the 4th. 6 hits. And Ryan Stevens will once again take a trip out to the mound. This time maybe eyeing a change on the mound. And we keep you updated. Hugs all around as it looks like Jonathan Haynes has thrown his last pitch as part of the Express. A great year for the junior from Arkport. A 1-year player for the Express. He'll look for his next opportunity. And now out towards the mound heads number 44, Ethan Zimmerman, to replace him. So Zimmerman heading out to take the place of Jonathan Haynes on the mound. An attempt to get out of this 4th inning. An inning in which the Panthers have managed to put up 3 runs. Wells overcame a 3-0 deficit in the first game. They're going to have to one-up that one in the second game if they want to draw close. Down 4-0 here in the 4th inning. The good news is still plenty of time. This game is a 9-inning game. So still lots of outs to work with. And Zimmerman, the sophomore from Denver, Colorado, will head to the bump for the Express. For Zimmerman on the year, 8 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts. 3 strikeouts. 4 earned runs for the sophomore from Colorado. Another sophomore in this pitching class for the Express, chock full of sophomores. 7 sophomores able to take the mound for the Express. Mason Smith, Mike Nascimento, Xander Johnson, Nick Manet, Ethan Zimmerman, John Pascarella Jr., and Ryan Weiser, all sophomores. All will be looking for a new home after this game and will surely find a good spot to land. But for now, it's Zimmerman. He'll throw to Alex Ogden. So Zimmerman's first pitch finds the bottom left corner for a strike. Good start for Zimmerman. Second pitch a little high and outside. Zimmerman with a bit of a closed stance, keeping that front leg out in front. And he'll get a second strike call on that pitch, a check swing from Ogden. He did indeed go. So 1-2 count on Ogden. And Ogden stays alive, fouling off a pitch from Zimmerman. So Ogden will step back in. 2 outs in the inning still for the Panthers. And Ogden battling, fouls that one off over the home fans down the first base line. Ogden will step back in. Zimmerman facing his first batter here today. And Ogden not making it easy on him. Fighting hard here to stay in and keep the 4th inning going, a frame in which they've gotten 3 runs. The Panthers have. And Zimmerman is set. He'll deliver a bit high. So now we've got 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Zimmerman will look to get Ogden. Ogden pops that one up on the infield. Multiple infielders charging in. So Aaron Izquierdo lets the ball drop. Fair, but it bounces foul. And we'll redo it. This afternoon sun here is setting over Cayuga Lake and beautiful Wells College in Aurora, New York. Also causing a bit of problems, especially for, it seemed on that play, Aaron Izquierdo had trouble eyeing the ball. However, it drops foul nonetheless. And Ogden, fighting, will get a rope into left field. That'll trickle out of play. So Ogden with a 2-out double off of Zimmerman after battling to stay in. And he'll score Pretash from second to extend the lead to 5-0. So AV on second, AV on third, Ogden on second, and Brett Babcock stepping into the box for the Panthers. It appears as if the umpires are asking for the gate in left field to be closed. That previous double from Ogden trickled out of play. An open gate down just beyond the left field foul pole. And right in front of the Panthers bus. But they've got a Panther on it to close the gate. And so we'll be back in action here. Zimmerman facing Babcock. And Babcock with a big swinging miss. Zimmerman trying to get out of this inning. A 4 spot currently for the Panthers. 2 outs. Almost fooled Babcock, but Babcock held back on that outside pitch. Had a little movement. Looked like it might be trailing inside, but then curved back outside on potentially the slider from Zimmerman. Fourth offering is a little low. Zimmerman resets. In there to Babcock. Odom ranging to his left at second base. He'll snag it and retire Babcock. to get out of the inning, but not before the Pittsburgh Bradford Panthers get 4 runs in the 4th inning. They're up 5-0. However, this Express offense has showed time and time again that going down early doesn't mean a whole lot to them once they get rolling, which is exactly what they'll try to do against Brandon Ameden Crawford, who remains on the mound for the Pittsburgh Bradford Panthers. We'll catch all that action when we return momentarily. So back here in the bottom of the 4th, Brandon Ameden Crawford still on for the Panthers. And if the Express want to get something started, who better to do it than Max Odom and Jacoby James, along with Aaron Izquierdo, the 3 due up for the Express in the bottom of the 4th as Crawford deals. That'll bring the count to 1-1 on that low ball. So Max Odom, 1 for 4 with an RBI last game. As he shoots this one deep to left field, it'll get down past Heron left field. Odom with speed around first. He'll make it to second. And Odom with a leadoff double. The Express so far today, a masterclass on how to get revenge after a big inning from the Panthers. Job's not finished yet, though, as Jacoby James steps in with a long way to go. That's a good start from Max Odom, though. A leadoff double down the left field line. And big Jacoby James from Florida, probably enjoying this temperature. About as Florida-like as the weather gets up here in central New York. And he'll try and add to the heat by scorching a ball, try and get Max Odom in. Nothing doing yet. Couple balls to James. Ameden Crawford now with Max Odom on second to deal with. He peers over at him now. Couple looks and then deals to James. James swings and misses. James looking for a big shot on that one. But this Express team is dangerous when they get base runners on. The pressure they put on fielders, they cause all fielders to just think in the back of their heads about the base runners, especially the Odom twins, with Max Odom currently on second. Potentially affecting Ameden Crawford. 3-1 count to Jacoby James. He'll look to follow up Odom's leadoff double and really get things going for this offense. James, a slow swing, pops it up down the right field line. It'll go foul. Like we said earlier, the wind is now blowing straight toward the first base line. In game one, it was blowing right out to right field. Now more of a crosswind as James stays alive on that foul ball. So now Ameden Crawford in his second time through this lineup in a battle with Jacoby James, the 3-batter. And James looking to make his mark. Excuse me, only 2 balls. So now the count is full. For Jacoby James. Swings. Belts one deep to right. A bad read by the right fielder. And Jacoby James with a shot to right. Heading to third is James. Odom's home easily. James, the head first dive into third, and Jacoby James strikes again for the Express. They could only keep him dormant for so long. Jacoby James with a triple to right field, scoring Max Odom. No outs. And now, the most dangerous batter today for the Express, Aaron Izquierdo, up to bat. But first, we'll see a mound meeting from head coach Zach Foster. As the Express, just absolutely phenomenal recently at fighting back against large deficits. Max Odom with a leadoff double down the left field line, followed by a Jacoby James shot to right field for a triple. And James snags another extra base hit. Currently with 18 on the year, now with 19. It's his third triple for the sophomore from Florida. And now in steps Izquierdo against Ameden Crawford. Huge spot for Brandon Ameden Crawford, needing to get through the heart of this Wells lineup. And the first offering to Izquierdo is a ball inside. Izquierdo waits on that one. He hits it over to the shortstop. Komodo over to first, but James makes it home. So Aaron Izquierdo grounds out to short, but he gets the RBI. And now Macho Man, James Camacho, steps to the plate with one out. First pitch is in there for a strike from Ameden Crawford. Camacho lines this one down the right field line, but foul. Hustling out to grab that ball is number 22, Cameron Heyman. Got the save last game for the Express. His 7th save of the year to seal a 9-5 win. And now Camacho will dig in. He grounds this one to second. The throw from Ogden offline. And Babcock had to travel up the first base line to grab that one. So Camacho will be in safe on the E4 from Alex Ogden. And now in steps Alan Compress, the second batter of the new quartet for the Express. 4 new batters in spots 5 through 8 here in game 2. As Compress takes that first one. He hits this one over to the third baseman. Pretash over to Ogden at second to retire Camacho, but the throw not in time for Compress, who was down the line with some speed. So Compress reaches on the fielder's choice as Pretash tosses it over to Ogden at second to retire Alan Compress. And that'll send up Mark Maybe. 2 outs, 2 runs in this inning. And a check swing from Maybe. He puts it in play right to the pitcher, Ameden Crawford. He tosses over to Babcock at first to get the Panthers out of the inning. Little check swing from Maybe there. Not sure if he wanted to go for that one, but the ball ran inside on him, and he put it in play right back to the pitcher. So Ameden Crawford over to Babcock to end the inning, but 2 runs on 2 hits for the Express in the bottom of the 4th. Now the Panthers lead 5-2, but the Express offense trying to get going here. We'll be back on AMCC TV and the Wells Express YouTube momentarily. So the throwdown from Izquierdo will bring up number 19, Aaron Hare, to lead off the 5th inning for the Panthers, who put up a 4 spot in the last frame. And Hare grounds this one down the third base line. A tough play for Mark Maybe. Maybe with a tough play there, Hare will get a single. Little dribbler down the third base line. And Hare is in with yet another leadoff hit. I believe he had a leadoff hit earlier in the game. So another leadoff batter reaches for the Panthers. Maybe no shot at that one. And now Kyle Komodo will step in. Zimmerman still on for the Express. He deals outside. Ball 1 to Komodo. And that pitch from Zimmerman down and to the right, just a little inside. Ball 2, 2-0 count to Kyle Komodo. And Zimmerman gets the call on that one. So 2-1 now, the count to Komodo. Zimmerman loads up and fires. Komodo fouls that one off the light pole just behind the home plate dugout. The home dugout, I should say. So 2-2 count now for Komodo against Zimmerman, the sophomore from Colorado. Another foul by Komodo. As the hit from Komodo, right back up the middle, just gets past Max Odom. So 2 leadoff singles to start things here. So with Hare on second and Komodo on first, Nico Hall will be up as the top of the lineup. Comes around for the 3rd time. Zimmerman from Colorado, the Buffaloes fan, looking for a little prime time here against the top of the lineup for the Panthers. And Nico Hall, who fouls that first pitch off. So the 0-1 now from Zimmerman to Komodo. Excuse me. To Hall, and Hall will get it down. Scoring from second is Aaron Hare. So with no outs, the Panthers strike again. The single from Nico Hall, the center fielder Zach Odom. Kyle Komodo will head to third, and Aaron Hare will head home. So after the Express strike back, the Panthers put another one up at 6-2. No outs in the inning, first and third. And we may see a change here as head coach Ryan Stevens heads out to the mound. Talk with Ethan Zimmerman, the sophomore from Colorado. And we will have a change here as out trots number 12, Brady Roberts, the first year from Saranac Lake, New York. And he'll be on to try and limit the damage in the top of the 5th. So Ethan Zimmerman's day is done. He'll head out in his final appearance for the Express, taking place in this final game for Wells College. And we'll be back momentarily after Roberts gets warmed up. See you then. So Brady Roberts, the first year from Saranac Lake, New York, thrust into a difficult position here with Kyle Komodo at third and Nico Hall at first, facing the second batter in the Panthers' order, Andrew Bokulich. And Roberts' first action is over to first. He'll send Nico Hall back to the bag. Hall most assuredly looking to try and swipe a bag here. The Panthers' leader in stolen bases. First and third, no outs. May wait, though. No outs on the board, so still plenty of chances for him to move up, as that dealing from Roberts is high. So Roberts, 4 appearances this year, 5 strikeouts, though, and off goes Hall. Is scared of the throw down. James can't handle it. So Hall is in safe with a stolen base. And it's now runners at second and third with no outs for the Panthers in the top of the 5th. Causing some chaos here in the middle stages of this final game. Slat delivery is a bit high for Roberts, who's settling in. And he'll find the zone with that off speed. Down in for the first strike. Roberts delivers. And he hits Bokulich right on the shoulder. Bokulich tried to get out of the way, but couldn't move quick enough. So now, the bases are loaded for Evan Frailia, who had 5 RBIs last game for the Panthers. And he'll have a huge spot here to do some damage, as the first pitch from Roberts is in there. Excellent off-speed. Movement was great, moving from the head of Frailia down into the box. And Roberts will deal again. This one outside. Bit too much movement. So Roberts sets, deals. And Frailia out to Zach Odom in center field. It'll get down. Zach Odom with a cannon. Right back to Camacho, who came over to cover from first, but Frailia rather, will get the RBI single to center field. Panthers loving center field this inning. So everyone will move up a station, and Blake Pretash will be in. He takes a first pitch ball from Brady Roberts. Another high pitch from Roberts. 2-0 count on Pretash. Pretash fouls that one out of play. So for Pretash, 1 for 2 in this game, a walk. Looking to add another tally, get a multi-hit game under his belt here in the season finale for both of these teams, as Roberts throws just over him. 3 balls now in the count to Pretash. And Roberts finds the inside part of the zone there. He'll run the count full, 3-2. Battling with Pretash here, trying to get the first out of this inning. And Pretash fends that one off over the home dugout. So Roberts in a battle with Blake Pretash. The sophomore from Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania, played his ball at Clearfield. And he'll draw the walk. A bases loaded walk for Pretash, still no outs in the inning. And Nico Hall sped home, didn't have to. A bases loaded walk scores him. 3 runs now in the 5th for the Panthers, no outs. Here, Noah Avey in the lefty to face Brady Roberts. Roberts' first pitch low and inside. Roberts deals pitch number 2. That one's in there. 1-1 count on Avey. And Avey 0 for 1, 2 walks. As that one runs outside. That one just out of the zone for Roberts. Misses bottom right. So Avey as Avey fouls this one over the away dugout. Toward this beautiful, beautiful scenery over here with the golf course shack, the American flag flying high, and the lake just beyond it. As Avey draws another walk. And head coach Ryan Stevens will head out to the mound to meet with Brady Roberts. No outs in this inning still. Pitt Bradford matching their last inning total with 4 runs. Currently a 4 spot, 11 hits. And no outs in the inning for the Panthers. We'll return after this mound meeting from head coach Ryan Stevens. Okay, how about now? Yeah, okay. I'm just going to talk. Technical difficulties here, but that's okay. We'll just stream the audio through the camcorder. I'm sure it'll accomplish the same purpose. Maybe in an inning or two we'll try and reset the microphones, but that's okay. Sun beating down here at the Wells College Turf Complex as Ryan Weiser enters the game for the Express. Weiser, the first year from nearby Dryden, New York, pitched at the same high school as graduating player Bradley Perry, who we saw last night. And Weiser, on in a tough situation, bases loaded, no outs. And Alex Ogden up to bat. As Weiser will look to somehow get out of this jam. The Panthers 4 runs in this inning. And a belt from Ogden back to McLean in left. McLean's under it. He'll make the grab and he'll fire it. But it'll be nowhere near in time to stop Evan Frela from scoring. So on the sacrifice fly to Chris McLean in left field, Alex Ogden picks up the RBI and scores Evan Frela. Noah Avey and Blake Pretash will stay at first and second, respectively. But Frela scoring on the play to give Bradford the 9-2 lead. So 1 out now in the inning for Brett Babcock. The redshirt senior from Westfield, New York, will step in. That pitch from Weiser misses a little outside. As Weiser sets, delivers in there. Belted just foul from Babcock. Great play at third from the third base coach. Getting that one back in quick to Weiser. We'll be back on to work against Babcock. So Weiser deals to Babcock, who swings and misses. That'll be 2 strikes. So Weiser will set in the stretch. And Babcock will hit this one to third. Mark Maybe steps on third for the force out, and then fires over to first to Camacho for the double play to get out of the inning. But still 5 runs for the Panthers. The Express have got some work to do. 5 innings to do it. And we'll be back here as they get up to bat in the bottom of the 5th. Some work to do.
Now batting for the Express, number 18, John Bellinati.
Back here in the bottom of the 5th, a 5 spot for the Panthers. At the top of the 5th. And John Bellinati on to start the action. For the Express, a long way to go, but still a lot of time here. As the Express look to battle back. And Valinati ropes this one to right field. And it'll land just foul. Bouncing off the crossbar of that soccer goal over there, just in front of the American flag. And the scoreboard that reads 10-2. For the Express, they look for an inning like they had in the bottom of the 6th last game. Try and get some chunks back as Valinati. The offering from number 27, Brandon Amidon Crawford, who is still on for the Panthers. And he's working quick as Valinati laces this right back up the middle just by Amidon Crawford for a leadoff single. So Valinati getting things going in the right direction for the Express with Chris McLean up to bat, the 9 batter for Wells College. Attempting to also get on to give this top of the order 2 base runners with no outs and begin the comeback. It'll be a long time coming, but a little at a time will get them there. So the first pitch from Amidon Crawford to McLean is a little outside. As McLean set again, Amidon Crawford deals way inside. McLean skies this one straight up on the infield, and the pitcher over to get it. That was in on the handle. Very inside, it tailed back in. Good movement from Amidon Crawford. And McLean pops up to the pitcher. So, back to the top of the lineup we go with Zach Odom, 1 out in this inning, and John Valinati on first. And Valinati takes off. He's stealing. And he's safe under the tag. Valinati slides. The throw from the catcher, Avey, down to down to Komodo at shortstop. Komodo tried to fly across the second base bag and lay the tag on Valinati, but he slides just under it and is in there with a stolen base. So John Valinati with a steal here. Into scoring position for Zach Odom as Amidon Crawford deals low to Odom. So John Valinati with only a 2nd stolen base of the year as Amidon Crawford deals high to Odom. But what a time for that 2nd steal to come. He's in scoring position now. The Express trying to inch back into this one. And Odom, a grounder right up the middle. Valinati being sent by Coach Stevens. Firing home as the center fielder, Hall. But Valinati will be in time, so Zach Odom, an RBI single to center field on a laser. The center fielder Hall can't get Valinati, so the steal from Valinati pays off big. Gets him into scoring position for Zach Odom to knock him in, and now it's his twin brother Max Odom. Gotta think if Valinati got the signal, then Zach Odom's gonna be chomping at the bit to head over to second. For an Express team trying to get runners into scoring position. And Max Odom, this one's up the middle. The center fielder Hall in on it. But nothing he can do about that one. So back-to-back center field singles from the Odom twins. And the Express are in business here with Jacoby James stepping to the plate. The sophomore from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Looking to make another big splash here. Jacoby James 1 for 2 with an RBI. Got an RBI triple earlier in this game over the right fielder's head. And James a big swing and miss. So James trying to keep the Express train moving. As that pitch from Mead and Crawford is outside. And we got to talk about Mead and Crawford. Good start to this game. 4 1/3 innings so far. Only 3 runs allowed on 5 hits. And Zach Odom trying to draw his attention at second, getting a big secondary lead. But Mead and Crawford unfazed as he fires home. So Mead and Crawford now facing Jacoby James and Zach Odom dancing around on second, trying to get Crawford, begging Mead and Crawford to try and pick him off. Trying to get in his head a little bit. But Crawford focused on James. And Jacoby James started to head down to first, but then second thought, headed back to the box, knew he got fooled on that one. Still in there though. With the Odom twins on first and second, Jacoby James doesn't go on that one. And James will head down to first. A great decision. Amazing discipline from Jacoby James to draw that walk.
Now batting for the
So James trots down to first. And up comes Aaron Izquierdo, the senior from Palisades Park, New Jersey, in a huge spot for the Express. Facing Mead and Crawford. Mead and Crawford's first pitch. In there, finds the top left corner. A good frame by the catcher, Avey. And Izquierdo, hot in the first game, trying to stay that way here. As that ball trails a little outside for Mead and Crawford. 1-1 now to the catcher, Izquierdo. Zach Odom at third, Max Odom at second, Jacoby James at first, and only 1 out. Bases loaded for Aaron Izquierdo. Trying to conjure an amazing moment on this final day of play. Skies this one up on the infield. Tracking it's the second baseman, Alex Ogden. And Alex Ogden retires Izquierdo.
Now batting for the Express, number 11, James Camacho.
So runners stay. That'll be James Camacho in the 5 spot for the Express. With 2 outs in the inning, the bases loaded. Camacho watches the first one inside for a strike. As Mead and Crawford looks to get out of this jam, he'll deal. Nearly hit Camacho on that one. Almost looked like he expected it to trail back inside, but it stayed going straight and almost hit Camacho. Nonetheless, back in the box we go. 1-1 the count on James Camacho. So Mead and Crawford deals. 2-1 now. For the sophomore, Camacho. Trying to make some magic happen here against Mead and Crawford. Lowe's the 4th dealing. 3-1 now the count to Camacho. Camacho will dig in, a hitter's count, 3-1. Mead and Crawford set to go. Camacho fouls this one off. Is in a good spot for him. He'll have a couple more chances though, or rather 1 more, depending on how he uses it. James Camacho back in, counts full, runners off, and Camacho lines this one into right field. The Odoms both score. Jacoby James heading to third. A huge, huge hit from James Camacho into right field. Runners were off. What a perfect time to lace the ball right in between first and second. And James Camacho, the Express, now only down 5 with plenty of time here. Still 4 1/3 innings left. And that'll be all she wrote for a meeting. Crawford, he'll head off after the huge RBI single, the 2-out RBI single from James Camacho, which lands in right field. Scores the Odoms, and Jacoby James at third now. So the Pitt Bradford Panthers would call on number 6, Sean Mannering, the junior from Smyrna, Delaware. And Mannering the ace for this Pitt Bradford squad, at least it seems. 10 appearances, 10 games started, 5 wins, 4 losses, 2 complete games, 60 Ks. An insane amount of Ks for Mannering. 10.38 Ks per 9 and a 3.63 ERA, so Mannering, a feared presence on the mound to be sure. And Bradford, why not? Final couple innings of your season, they call on the ace, Sean Mannering in relief. Why not? So Sean Mannering will get warmed up, and we'll be back here on AMCC TV and the Wells Express YouTube as Mannering faces off with Alan Compress soon here after he gets warmed up. So Sean Mannering enters the game, the junior from Smyrna, Delaware. And a little play here, a delayed steal, and the gamble pays off for Coach Stevens in the Express. They stole Camacho late, forcing the Panthers to try and deal with him. Meanwhile, Jacoby James snuck home, so the double steal. Second time we've seen that today. And Coach Stevens, 2 for 2, excellent calls from the skipper for the Express. And now Camacho at second, Compress in the batter's box with 2 outs, trying to create a follow-up performance to James Camacho's last at bat, which ended in a single to right field, a 2 RBI single. So Mannering, the powerful righty, a little bit of a sidearm release, finding that outside corner well. Like we said, 3.63 ERA, 60 strikeouts in 10 appearances. And he's got another one there against Compress, as he gets the swinging strike to end the inning, but not before the Express get 4 runs and 4 hits. Exactly what they needed here. We'll head to the top of the 6th. 4 innings left here as the sun sets on Wells College and the Express baseball program. Catch the finale. We'll be back in a moment. So Ryan Weiser back on to work here in the top of the 6th. 2 long innings for the Panthers in their last 2 at-bats. Weiser trying to cut this one short. As he'll face Aaron Hare. Hare finding himself as the leadoff batter multiple times this game. 2 leadoff hits to begin the couple innings for the Panthers. Looking for a 3rd one here against Weiser. And Hare fouls this one off down the right field line. Wind alternating between blowing out to right field and inducing that cross one we talked about earlier toward the first baseline. Right now, somewhere in between, but down in that pocket to be sure. As Weiser gets the strikeout, the swinging strike on Aaron Hare to start the inning. So he sits Hare down. And it'll bring up Kyle Komodo. Komodo today having a good day. And honestly, these last 3 batters for the Panthers having amazing outings. Ogman, last inning, he's 2 for 2. Hare 3 for 4 now, was 3 for 3. And Komodo's 2 for 3. 2 runs scored for Komodo, the shortstop this game. And he'll try and keep that average up against Ryan Weiser. Weiser finds the zone there, the lefty. Komodo holding on that one. Against Weiser, the first year from Dryden, New York. Hopefully a long collegiate career. As this one is shot right back up the middle from Komodo. And he'll get to first. Single up the middle. 1 out in the inning. And that'll bring up the top of the order, Nico Hall. Oh, it's right. So Nico Hall against Ryan Weiser. With Kyle Komodo at first base as Weiser checks on him, the lefty. So quite a role reversal we've had here. Last game, the top 3 batters for the Panthers did the heavy lifting, all recording multi-hit games. This time around, it's the bottom of the order with Alex Ogden, Aaron Hare, and Kyle Komodo all having multi-hit games already in only the 6th inning. As Weiser deals just a bit high and outside to Nico Hall. And the leadoff batter for the Panthers trying to keep things going here. At least halt the express momentum that they garnered last time at bat. Scoring 4 runs of their own in the bottom of the 5th. Couple long innings here. These 2 teams put up a combined 13 runs in the last 2 innings of play. As Weiser deals good movement. Just landed on that inside corner to Nico Hall. So now Hall with 2 strikes. And Weiser misses the mark on that one. Or rather, gets the call. Unsure what happened there. Did they call interference? Potentially Nico Hall leaning into that pitch. Either that or a strikeout, one of the 2. No matter, we move on. And Ryan Weiser will get his curtain call as his day is done. Good work from Weiser. keeping Bradford at bay. And now we will see the Express's relief star with this appearance, tying Express legend Jared Strait with 52 appearances. It's number 6, Zach Kronk from nearby Center Reach, New York. Kronk now, after he throws his first pitch, and this one will have his 52nd appearance and his final appearance in an Express uniform for Kronk, looking to go out with a bang. So Kronk now the Express all-time leader in appearances in a season, and also the all-time career leader in appearances, tied, I should say, with Jared Strait for career leader in appearances, 52 each for both of the Express stars. And we'll be right back after Kronk gets warmed up. So Zach Kronk ties Jared Strait for the all-time career record for appearances in an Express uniform with 52. And the relief star for the Express, the bullpen beast, will immediately induce an out as Jacoby James tosses over to Max Odom at second base, retiring Andrew Bokulich. Quick work for Kronk, comes in, 1 pitch, 1 out, and we head to the bottom of the 6th. Wells still with some momentum. Got 4 runs last time out. Trying to see if they can have a repeat performance and knot this game up at 10. We'll see at the top of the 7th. So as we begin the bottom of the 6th here,
I don't know why this has to
Mark Mabey with a single to second base, a hard play
John Valnodi.
for the second baseman, Alex Ogden. And Mark Mabey continues a streak of excellent Express offense. He reaches with a leadoff single in the bottom of the 6th, brings up John Valnodi. Sean Mannering still on the mound. The Bradford ace getting the Madison Bumgarner treatment, trying to come in and shut him out. As the Express look to claw back into this one. So strike there from Mannering. Wind still blowing out to right field. And a swinging miss from Valinati. Going to bring up Chris McLean.
Express number 36, Chris McLean.
With Mark maybe on first and 1 out. So McLean, the first pitch from Mannering, a ball outside. So McLean then the top for the Express. McLean no hits in this one, trying to get on the board. 2-0 the count to McLean. As he faces Sean Mannering. Could have quite a pitcher's duel on our hands down the stretch here. Sean Mannering and Zach Kronk. 2 sub-4 ERA pitchers. Both highly ranked in the AMCC leaderboards for lowest ERA. And I haven't taken a look at the strikeout numbers, but I would assume that Mannering is running away with the strikeout category right now. 60 Ks in 10 appearances. That's 6 strikeouts per appearance for Mannering. I feared force to be sure. As McLean fouls this one off down the right field line. And he'll hop back in. So the count runs full on McLean. Looking to move maybe over for the top of the lineup. He'll foul this one off back straight back towards the dugout. And continue working here. Quick refuel from the umpires, courtesy of Sergio Munoz, the manager for this Express team, as McLean swings and misses. And a strikeout for Mannering, number 61. Just piling on the strikeout numbers. And back to the top. What a battle we are going to have here down the stretch. The Odom twins and Jacoby James, along with Aaron Izquierdo, due up against Sean Mannering, the ace for this Bradford squad. And he gets the first strike on Zach Odom. So Zach in the box against Mannering. Swings on this one, he laces it just in front of the right fielder, so all the runners will move up a step. Mark Mabey hits the second, and Zach Odom is into first with a 2-out single to right field, bringing up his twin brother, Max.
Now batting for the Express, number 1.
Max looking to try and follow it up with a runner in scoring position now. And Mannering's first delivery is a bit high. Max Odom in this game, 2 hits, 2 runs scored as he skies this one. It gets down toward the right field line. Maybe he's in to score. Max Odom tacks another one on for the Express. It's on now. Express within 3. Max Odom, a 2-out single down the right field line, advances his brother to third and advances Mark Mabey to home. Express only trail by 3 now, still only the bottom of the 6th. First and third now, 2 outs for Jacoby James. An RBI triple during the early going in this game. And Jacoby James, first pitch from Mannering. Can't paint the corners better than that. That's the bottom left corner for a strike. As James thinks about swinging at that one, but holds back, much like he did in the last at-bat, drawing a walk. Good play discipline from James, showing off the full repertoire in his final day donning an Express uniform. Mannering will get the strike on that call. So 2 strikes on Jacoby James. And Mannering gets the strikeout of James. Pitt Bradford gets out of the inning, only allowing 1 run, but still Express within 3 and are creeping back into this one real quick. He'll be back in the top of the 7th to see if they can hold the Panthers here. So Zach Cronk, lowest ERA on this Express squad, was second in the AMCC earlier in the week. Not sure if he's still there, but he'll face Evan Frela, the 3-batter. Frela launches this one to center field. Zach Odom back on it, and an over-the-shoulder grab from Zach Odom to retire Frela at the beginning of this 7th inning. So Cronk, 2 pitches, 2 putouts against 2 of the most feared batters in the Panthers lineup. So after getting Frela, he'll now have to face Blake Pretash. And Cronk getting some efficient work in here in the early going. Cronk winds up, and Pretash turned on that one, but he was a little ahead of it. Didn't wait quite long enough and belted it out toward the bus in a dangerous spot. Massive target out there, just outside the foul pole. And Cronk, amazing movement on that pitch. Fooled Pretash. Pretash thought he might get beamed, but instead it travels back into the zone, and Cronk almost fooled Pretash on that one. Couldn't get the K though. I think the bus driver heard me or realized that's not a very good spot to stay. And Pretash draws a walk against Zach Cronk after Cronk had him fooled a couple times. So 1-out walk from Pretash. And Noah Abbey, the catcher, waits on this one, hits it over to the first baseman, Camacho, who vacates first to grab the ball, turned around to flip it over, saw no one there and decided he had to go himself. So Camacho, the unassisted putout at first. However, Pretash makes it to second. So Panthers with a man in running scoring position, 2 outs here. And Coach Stevens out to meet Zach Cronk on the mound. And Zach Cronk will hand the ball over to Coach Stevens. That'll be all she wrote for the amazing career of Zach Cronk here for the Wells Express, tying Jared Strait for all-time appearances and setting the record for appearances in a single season. Zach Cronk, a great year to be sure. And he can exit this game with his head held high and put his faith in the rest of his Express brethren. So Kronk will head off the field. Lots of applause from this Express crowd. The amazing career of Zach Kronk. And as another Express great exits, it's next in line for this Express pitching unit. Cycling through all their bullpen arms today. Next up in the order, number 3, Scott Scherer, the first year from Skinny Atlas, New York. Scherer this season, 3 appearances, 2 Ks, only 4 hits allowed. And he'll look to lead with a big body of work here. He'll enter the game 2 outs with Blake Pretash on second. And he'll face Alex Ogden. Last time up, a huge RBI hit for Ogden. Ogden putting together a great performance in this one, 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs and a double. Double that came in his last at bat. So Ogden dangerous this game. Scherer will look to sit him down. We'll be back in a second or two when Scherer's done warming up. So another bullpen arm enters for the Express. Definitely pitching by committee in this second game. Trying to get all these Express players some time here and etch their name into the books of the final Express game in Wells College baseball history. So Scott Scherer into the game, the first year from Skinny Atlas, and he'll face off against Alex Ogden, a double last time at bat for Ogden. And Blake Pretash on second with 2 outs. Scherer looking to get out of here. The Express have scored runs in the last 3 innings. Scherer trying to give him an opportunity to make it 4 and draw it ever closer to tying this game up against Bradford. Both teams fighting hard for a great conclusion to their season here. And Scherer finds the zone for a strike against Ogden. So Scherer trying to escape with no damage from the Panther batters. Great movement on that pitch. A pitch that started above Ogden's head and ended in the middle of the zone. Excellent off speed from Scott Scherer. 2 strikes now on Ogden. Back up against the wall. Scherer trying to shut the door and put him in the books. And Ogden dribbles it right back to Scherer. Scherer is going to flip over to Camacho, and Scherer gets the 3rd out. Kronk and Scherer escaping this inning. The Express only 3 runs away. Trying to keep the momentum. We'll catch you when they're back up. And Izquierdo leading off the bottom of the 7th inning for the Express. 9 outs left in the storied history of Wells College baseball. Down 3, looking to make some noise and go out, end their story with quite a final chapter to tell here as the books close on not only this exceptional program, but this historic college, 157 years of Wells College. And we send our thanks and our best wishes to everyone involved in that 157-year history, from staff to students to families and all of the above. Thank you. Your legacy will not be forgotten. The people of Wells will begin their journey elsewhere, but they will always keep the Express and Wells College in their hearts. Izquierdo battling against the ace for Pitt Bradford, Sean Mannering. Trying to get us started here. The Express have scored in the last 3 innings, looking to keep that trend going. Izquierdo bounces one, high bouncer to shortstop, fielded and over. What a great play from the shortstop, Komodo. And Komodo gets Izquierdo, or rather, yeah, Komodo.
Now batting for the Express, number 11, James Camacho.
Komodo with a shocking play to get Izquierdo at first. Ran in with a high bouncer. Couldn't tell if it was barehanded since we're facing his back, but he threw back across his body. Probably the most talented throw we've seen all day here at the Wells College turf to get Izquierdo. And now it's James Camacho. Lines this one to right, but the right fielder tracks it down. Bokulich out there. He'll get under it and track it down and get the second out. 2 quick outs now for the Express. And this is going to be Kyle Ketchum batting for the Express, a pinch hitter. So Kyle Ketchum at the plate now for the Express, pinch hitting.
Kyle Ketchum.
So Kyle Ketchum, 4 hits this year, including a big RBI double a couple games ago. Ketchum swings at the first pitch from Mannering. Doesn't draw any ball. So back in he will go against the Panthers' ace. And Ketchum working the angle out a little bit, getting closer, but now down to his last strike, just like that against Mannering. And Mannering gets the swinging miss from Kyle Ketchum to end the inning. Nothing for the Express in the bottom of the 7th, but they still have 6 outs to work with here. First up, though, they'll have to shut down the Panthers' offense once again as we head to the top of the 8th. We'll see you then. Zer. So Ketchum. Can you get
Now pitching for Wells College, number 19, Noah Warren.
Yeah, it's something you never want to lose. Oh boy, almost there.
Yeah, pass is warming up.
Huh?
Pass is warming up.
Surprised you So another inning, another new face for the Express bullpen. This time it's number 19, Noah Warner, the first year from Canisteo, New York. Played for the Chargers at Canisteo Greenwood, down in the southern tier of Section 5. Matched up against Jonathan Haynes' school, probably, Arkport. But nonetheless, Warner in the game now, facing Brett Babcock. Babcock over to Maybe. Maybe tosses cross diamond to James Camacho at first to get the first out of the inning. And Aaron Hare, who's having a pretty good game. 3 for 4, 1 RBI, a couple leadoff base knocks, and he'll step in against Warner. An action in the bullpen for the Express. Trying to get everyone in, trying to get everyone their dues here down the stretch in the final outing of their 2024 season. But right now, all eyes are on Noah Warner as he takes on Aaron Hare. That one runs inside on Hare. He just gets out of the way, moves those hands out of the way in time. And Warner in the windup. A 4-pitch walk to Aaron Hare. So Hare will take first and bring up Kyle Komodo. So Komodo steps in against Warner, 19 versus 18, with Aaron Hare, number 19, on first. Warner's first offering a bit outside. Warner in the stretch now. Aaron Hare on first to his back, but focusing on the batter, Kyle Komodo. 2-0 the count to Komodo. 1 out in the inning. As this pitch is down and to the left, 3-0 now. Warner trying to avoid 2 straight walks. The Canisteo native against Komodo. And a walk to Komodo. So runners at first and second now. 1 out. And Nico Hall will come up, but not before Aaron Izquierdo takes a trip out to the mound to give some words of advice to Noah Warner. The senior in the first year, a quick discussion on the bump. So Nico Hall in the box. Warner, good off speed, tails back in for a strike. Whatever Izquierdo told him, paying off early. Warner, another off speed. This one just a bit too low, but good movement. And Warner bringing out some off-speed stuff. Trying fool the leadoff batter, Hall. Hall grounds this one to third. The diving stop by Mark Maybe. He'll toss over to Max Odom at first. A great play by Maybe to range over. Diving stop by the Express third baseman. He'll hit Odom at second for the second out of the inning. Can't get the lead runner, though. So we'll have 2 outs. Runners at first and third, and Coach Ryan Stevens takes a trip out to the mound. And Noah Warner, another in a long list of Express relievers this game, putting in some good work as he'll make way for number 99, John Pasquarello Jr. So Warner, just a first year, absolutely a future in collegiate baseball still.
Now pitching for Wells College, number 99.
But he'll give way
Pasquarello.
to number 99, John Pasquarello Jr. And we'll return after Pasquarello is warm. Welcome back here as the sun sets over Cayuga Lake and Wells College. And once again, the sun setting on a storied Express baseball program. Still with embers to burn, though, is John Pascarella Jr., the sophomore from Dryden, New York, completes the trio of Dryden pitchers we've seen this weekend, along with the likes of Bradley Perry and Ryan Weiser. And Pascarella brings a bit of height to the mound. 6'4", 6'5", the lefty. Couple appearances this year, 1 strikeout for the sophomore. And he'll deal to Andrew Bokelich and make his way through the top of this lineup for Pitt Bradford. As the Panthers, with runners on first and third and 2 outs, Pascarella trying to get out of this one. Finds the spot. Good frame from Izquierdo. Heady frame from the catcher behind the plate for the Express. As Pascarella does battle with Bokelich here in the top of the 8th, rather. And Pascarella missing inside on that one. He'll walk Bokelich to start. Hopefully just some growing pains as he gets used to being back on the mound. Unfortunately, Evan Freyla, not the man you want to see after you walk the bases loaded with 2 outs. Let's see if Pascarella can get it done here, though. And a throw behind the runner at third from Izquierdo. And the runner is safe. They said he missed the tag. Oh, I stand corrected. He's out on the play. Izquierdo, what a play from the catcher. 2nd day in a row. We've seen Izquierdo catch runners sleeping. He throws behind Aaron Hare at third base to Mark Mabey, who runs him down and gets the out to end the inning. Looks like Pascarella Jr. won't have to worry about Freyla at all, as Izquierdo does great work behind the plate. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th, Express with 6 outs left to try and make a stunning comeback here and end their story with a great final line. We'll see you then. So back here, close to the curtain call and the curtain closing for the Express. Not done yet, though. Still gas to burn. And Mark Mabey in the box, facing some gas from Sean Mannering. The Pitt Bradford ace still on, as Mabey grounds it to Ogden at second. Ogden tosses over to Babcock at first for the first out of the 8th inning. Yep. So Justin Colindres subbed in a couple innings ago for Valinati in right field. He'll now head to the plate. And Colindres walking up to unwritten, hoping to write some history here. Colindres, unlucky yesterday, a couple hits that flew right to the right fielder, and he swings and misses at the first offering from Mannering. Mannering to Colindres. Colindres fights that one off over the home dugout. Colindres, good eye there, just outside the zone from Mannering. So Mannering to Calindris with 2 strikes. Calindris grounds this one softly to shortstop. Calindris trying to beat it out. Can't get there in time. Komodo over to Babcock for the 2nd out of the inning. So the Express down to their last out in the bottom of the 8th. 4 outs left in this game.
Now batting for the Express, number 36.
And Chris McLean will step into the box for the Express and try to flip it over to the top of the lineup. A task he accomplished earlier in the game, resulting in some very much needed runs for the Express. So McLean facing Mattering. First pitch is a ball outside. Another ball down and out from Mannering. So McLean, good head start, a 2-0 count against Mannering. And he'll swing at that one, belt it into right field. It'll get down. Chris McLean rounding first. He's heading to second, no doubts about it. He'll be upstanding. Chris McLean with a 2-out double, just what the Express needed as they flip the order back to the top. Zach Odom and Max Odom due up in potentially their last at-bats as part of the Express. Here at the end of these proceedings, you're going to see the final at-bats for some historic Express players. And we'll see what they have left in store for us as their careers come to a close. Zach Odom in the box right now with Chris McLean on second. Odom swing at the first one, fouling it back. So 0-1 on Zach Odom facing Sean Mannering. Mannering getting the Bumgarner treatment, coming in halfway through this game and doing work in it for the long haul. The ace for the Panthers facing Zach Odom is outside, pitch number 2. So 1-1 count to Zach. So Zach Odom with 2 outs and Chris McLean on second as this offering is inside at the feet of Odom. So Zach Odom in the gauntlet against Sean Mannering with Chris McLean on second, trying to draw some attention. And a good eye from Max Odom. 3 balls now. A 3-1 count to the first Odom brothers, Zach. And he'll swing on this one. He'll belt it into right field. Going back on it, the right fielder, Bokelich, and he'll retire Zach Odom. A great play. Almost couldn't see the ball, had to shield the sun out of his eyes with his glove, but he gets under it. So Bokelich retires Zach Odom. And at the top of the 9th, Bradford leads 10-7. And once again, the Express digging into their bullpen. John Pasquarella Jr.
Now pitching for
after facing
number 32, Nick Manet.
After facing number 10, Evan Frailia, will make way for Nick Manet, another sophomore. And he'll get the opportunity to face Frailia to lead off the 9th inning. One more inning left here at the Wells College Turf Complex. You don't want to miss the final part of the chapter here. We'll see in a second. Inning number 9 here from the Wells College Turf Complex. 157 years in the making here at Wells College. And this will be the final inning, unless the Express can get back on the board and extend this final chapter. Nick Manet, a leading role in this last gasp. He'll be on the mound for the Express, facing Evan Freyla. And Freyla didn't get the opportunity to finish his at-bat last time. Izquierdo threw behind Aaron Hare at third base to pick him off. So Freyla back in the batter's box. He'll swing on this one and foul it back. Manet deals low and outside to Freyla. Freyla pops this one up. Camacho, the first baseman, running after it, but it's into the sea of fences over near the home dugout. The movable softball fences here that complete the softball field, placed on either side on each foul line, along with soccer goals and other various equipment items used for a variety of sports that take place on this multi-purpose field. As Freyla grounds this one to maybe into the ground, but still bounces it over to Camacho. The throw was low, but it was on target, and Camacho scoops it up for the first out of the inning. So Freyla is retired. Manet will face Blake Pretash here, and he's in his motion quick, misses outside with the first pitch against Freyla. Against Pretash. Low and outside for Manet. So 2-0 to start against Pretash. Trying to get a strike call in there. Pretash knocks up the middle. Jacoby James over to the left. He ranges over and throws out Pretash at first. Camacho with a good stretch. Jacoby James finding first to sit Pretash down. 1 out left to get for the Express, and head coach Ryan Stevens will look to one more bullpen pitcher to get the final out at the top of the 9th. We'll see who it is.
Let's go, baby.
So number 42, Mike Nascimento, enters the game for the Express to get the final out at the top of the 9th in what may potentially be the last out in Wells Express team history. So Manet retires Pretash. Nascimento now in for the Express. We'll return when play gets underway. Thanks for joining us here on the Wells YouTube and AMCC Boxcast for our last presentation of Express Baseball. I'm Sport Communication Director Jordan Lambert, along with my esteemed squad up here, Lauren Kimball, Harrison Keena, Anthony Angley, and Krista Cagle, bringing you all this action. Stay tuned for the final part of today's doubleheader. So Mike Nascimento, number 42, gets the nod. That number 42, she's a beauty. The sophomore, Nascimento, 7.57 Ks per 9, 30 strikeouts on the year. And he faces Noah Avey, the catcher for the Panthers. So Nascimento trying to etch in the final out, hoping for a walk-off win in the bottom of the inning. If the Express can get the gears turning. But right now, Nascimento is dealing with Avey. In the windup, he deals. Good off speed. In there for the strikeout, Nascimento. If that's the final strikeout in Wells Express history, what a strikeout it was, what an out it was. Nascimento comes in and gets the strikeout on Avey. And the Wells Express will head to the bottom of the ninth. 3 outs here until the book closes on a storied program. Come see how it ends. We'll bring it to you in a matter of moments. Folks, what more could you ask for? Bottom of the ninth, Max Odom leads off the proceedings for the Express in what could be the final inning of Express baseball here at Wells College. Mike Nascimento coming in and getting the strikeout. And Max Odom with a shot to left, getting under it to left fielder Aaron Hare. And Hare will make the play to retire Max Odom. Odom feet away from a home run in the bottom of the ninth here. But it falls just short. On the mound for the Panthers now, a senior getting his action. So Mannering exits and makes way for number 31, Ben Suter. And Jacoby James will head into the box. And James, a scorching year for the Express, hitting the cover off the ball left and right. Hoping for one more shot. As Suter gets the strike inside. So for the pitcher, Ben Suter from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, the senior, most likely his final appearance in a Bradford uniform, hitting that corner inside on James. 2 strikes in the count, and Suter with a straight on set will get James swinging. Jacoby James goes down. And Aaron Izquierdo steps to the plate, the catcher for the Express, with the final out looming. Izquierdo looking to make some noise before his career comes to an end. Suter lines up, first pitch low and outside. And Izquierdo ready to go. Suter finding that inside corner very well so far. And doing battle with Izquierdo, the Express captain. Izquierdo lines this one into center field. And it'll get down for a hit. A single from Aaron Izquierdo. No error on the play. That was a tough play from the right fielder. So Aaron Izquierdo, if that's his last at bat as part of the Express, he'll end it with a hit. As Izquierdo drops one into right field.
Number 11, James Camacho.
And brings up number 11, James Camacho, or rather, a pinch hitter. Number 5, Zach Young in the box. For the Express, Zach Young down to their last out of the Express. The sophomore from Binghamton lines one to the shortstop, Komodo, over to second base to retire Izquierdo. And that's all she wrote here. As in the bottom of the ninth, Bradford shuts the door and wins this one. The Express still finished with a winning record. They'll end up 19-18, having a winning season in what ended up being the final season of Express baseball here at Wells College. Thanks for tuning in with us. We'll be back in 1 second to recount all the action with you here on AMCC Boxcast and the Wells Express YouTube. All right. So as the story comes to a close here at the Wells College Turf Complex with only one game left to be played on this field this weekend, we'd like to thank you all for tuning in and extend a special thank you to all the fans, all the staff, all the people who've been a part of Wells College for these 157 years, past and present. Wells will live on. Their legacy will be taken with anyone who is a part of the college's history. For the Express baseball team, they end with a 19-18 record, a winning season in their final season under head coach Ryan Stevens. Special shout out to the coaching staff, Ryan Stevens, Ian Crawford, Joe Cuddy, Joe Horn, and also a special shout out to all the esteemed Express executives, athletic director Tara Ruck, facilities manager Jim McIntyre, and many, many more. Eligibility coordinator Joe Watilko. Many names etched into history here at Wells College. And for one final time, my name's Jordan Lambert, the final sport information director here at Wells College in the 157 history of the university. Signing out one final time. Thanks for watching Express Baseball this season. We'll see you this weekend for the AMCC Women's Lacrosse Championship. Have a good rest of your weekend. We'll see you then. Signing off one last time.